The Hogs versus the Cowboys at Boone Pickens Stadium, Saturday at 11 in the morning. Get your brunch ready because it's kickoff time, week 2. Do the Cowboys win? Or do the Hogs continue their 10 for 10 touchdown offensive possession streak? We're about to find out. Welcome into the Gravity Design Lab studio. Let's get into the show. All right, the Oklahoma State Cowboys. They're the host team. They're ranked number 16 in the country after their defeat of really the ferocious FCS Jackrabbits. They've been winning like crazy down there on the FCS level. They're back-to-back national champs. They're looking good, but Oklahoma State, they're led by their junior running back, Ollie Gordon, the second. He had 104 physical yards on the ground, breaking tackles, running over people. He's pretty good now. He also had 42 receiving yards from their old man quarterback, and a total of 3 touchdowns last week. So he's their team. He's the main piece. So if you can slow him down, you might have a chance here. Then you got the quarterback, Alan Bowman. He seems like he's one of those guys that's been around forever. It seems like.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
He had 267 passing yards. Most of them were those quick passes, the short dump-off screens to some speedy receivers. So there's that. They have he connected 3 times with, I want to make sure I get his name right here, Rashad Owens. 3 deep bombs for 81 total yards. So he's their deep threat that he's going to test our secondary, see if we can keep him in front of us. All right, now it is time. Let's talk about the Razorbacks. The Hogs are a little harder to break down. They dismantled UAPB this last week. So you had Oklahoma State, who played one of the best FCS teams last week. Then you had Arkansas, that played one of the recent history worst in the FCS. I think they're going to be okay, but they were clearly outmatched. I mean, anytime you have 10 offensive possessions and 10 touchdowns. That's pretty good. I don't care who you're playing. That's pretty good. That's hard to do in practice. But one thing we didn't see is how this team would hold up against adversity. The first adversity comes, Patrick Kudus, one of your starting linemen, is out for the second week in a row, dealing with the back pains there. Yeah, that's tough. As a aging young man myself, back pain is one of the things that's hard to get over. Whenever you start having that, you start getting a little catch and you're giddy up, But that's tough. That's tough to get over. It just takes time and rest. That's pretty much it, But we'll see. Armstrong has been slowed with the hamstring. I don't know how much he'll be in if he'll be in full force or how much he'll be in. I think we'll catch up with our guy Austin later. I think he might have a little bit of insight on that, maybe. Maybe we'll see. But yeah, so it's great to look good in your opening game. It is, but can you carry that over and be enough to carry over against a really good, really Big 12 team? I mean, Mike Gundy's got his guys always doing good, so we'll see. We'll see how that goes. All right, let's visit a little bit more about that. Bring in our guy, Austin Miller, great truck driver recruiter, great guy, knows a lot about Arkansas Razorbacks. He's a man of the people, and he is our guy. Let's welcome in Austin Miller.
What's up, guys?
All right, so did you get a chance to watch the Oklahoma State Jackrabbits game last week?
Got to watch some of it. I didn't watch every down, but I watched a good chunk of it.
What stood out to you about the Cowboys specifically?
Ollie Gordon, he's the main thing that stands out. I mean, big, explosive running back that carries their offense. Got a lot of carries. I think he had a handful of catches. Definitely focal point, and he's stud.
Yeah, he's a problem. He was a problem last year too. Did he get hurt at the end of the year last year or something? Was there something that was slowed him down, or the team just kind of slowed down? I can't remember.
Surely it was just the team because he led the nation in rushing. He had like 100 yards or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm curious to see if he may pull out the Heisman this year without with one bad game on his record.
Yeah, next week's going to suck for him, but other than that, he'll do it.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, their quarterback is he's in his like 10th year or something. He's an old guy.
Him and Monty are probably hanging out on the weekend.
In the grandpa club over there.
Their K's and retirement and everything.
Touche. Yeah, they're getting ready for their investments to hit here. Start pulling out from their 401k. Yeah, that's what stood out about. I know you watched all of the Arkansas game. So what stood out on that game? It's UAPB, so it's kind of like a grain of salt kind of game. But what stood out to you with that game?
Yeah, I kind of tweeted about it. It's tough to get too excited, but just the execution on offense. We had 9 rushing touchdowns all of last year. We have 8 in this game. It's impressive to go 10 for 10 on anybody. Offensive line looked way different. It looked like they knew what they were doing, and the running backs were able to find holes, and Talon found a couple holes as well.
Yeah, that was huge, and on top of that, Patrick Kudus was out. So that's and he's going to be out this game too. It sounds like that's that back is kind of hard to bounce back from. But Harris looked good stepping in for him. I thought he stepped up good. The whole line stepped up, as you said. That was nice to see. No matter who you're playing.
Yeah, Carmona got lineman of the week. Braun's going to be steady for you. Addison looked like he was snapping well. That was something I was worried about. So it came together good, but obviously a lot bigger test this week.
Yeah, it's a huge test. They're a good team. They're not an SEC team, but they're a good team. They could be a playoff team. No question. That's curious to see because we have Armstrong is going to be out too. So again, it sounds like with his hamstring.
It looked like he might have practiced today. I know they hadn't released anything, but he was in a couple of the pictures they posted today.
Oh, that would be huge.
Fingers. I'm hoping he plays. He's difference maker at the receiver.
Yeah, agreed. I think overall, the receiver stepped up this last week. Once the rust got knocked off, that was it was pretty evident that they hadn't played a game together and real playtime. So it's once they got settled in, it was a little better. But if last week would have been against Oklahoma State, I think we might have had a little different. We would have had to have a comeback on that one.
Plays that they made last week that you're not going to make this week, like the Talon Green run, awesome highlight. That same play doesn't happen this week. So
yeah, you're not weaving through people like that on a full Division I team. You're not going to weave through them like that.
Yeah, I think he gets a 10-yard run, but he doesn't run all the way across the field and into the end zone. Speed different, so.
Yeah, he may break a tackle or two and stumble up and get the first down, but that's he's not going to just be like, oh, you know what? I'm just going to jog to the end zone on this, 80-yard run to get 30, 38 or something. That was crazy. Yeah. What if you had to pick 3 keys to Arkansas winning this week, what would you think you need to see happen for that to be the case?
I think my first one is Talon being a little more accurate. He finished with good percentage, good numbers, but I think anybody that watched it kind of saw he was off a little bit. So he's got to lock in. And I'm not saying he's got to go 100% or something, but I mean, he's just got to be a little more dialed in and hit receivers a little better. I think that's probably the biggest key to me because I think it's going to be an offensive game, but got to score points, and that's going to be the main way that I think you do it. It's Talon being able to throw and run. Probably second key would be tackling. I think even Sam said it that tackling is going to be real key. You got to get Ollie on the ground. He's probably going to make you miss a few times, but you need to get him on the ground. Most of the time you're going after him, or he's going to break one off, and he's got the capability to do it every play. So you got to get him on the ground, and then on the besides Ollie, I want to see the secondary stick a little better. I thought last week they had a few assignments. They had a touchdown that would have gone against them. It got called back on a lucky play where the quarterback stepped out of bounds. They got to stick a little better because quarterback's not bad either. You can't just stack 8 in the box and hope you tackle Ollie every good, or the quarterback's gonna toast you too. So Talon's got to have a good game, hit his receivers, got to get Ollie on the ground when you get the chance, and secondary's got to stick with the receivers, be a little bit better.
I would agree 100% with all of that. I think I saw a stat that I think Ollie broke 13. I think he had 13 tackles that he broke or like made him miss, and got those extra yards. Like you can't do that. You gotta get him down and kind of gang tackle him. I think our D line depth is going to be tested here. I think we're going to see truly how good they are because this is. I mean, he's a beast. And then you got Green on their team now too. That's if he gets the opportunity, I feel like he's going to want to prove something. I mean, who wouldn't going against your old team? And so I think that's going to be pretty huge. But the proof's in the pudding. So we'll see. We'll see. What do you think is going to happen? You think we're going to pull it out outright? Or you think we'll cover the spread? I think it was 7.5. I think last I saw.
Yeah, I think that's the last I saw. It was 7.5. Man, I go back and forth because like I try to be rational, but I'm a homer too. If it was in Fayetteville, I would feel a lot different. I think it's going to come down to fourth quarter. I mean, it could come down to, I'm not saying it's the last drive or anything, but there's probably a couple plays that's going to stand out in the fourth quarter. I think it'll be a one possession game. I'll pick Arkansas to win it, but I think it's going to be a close game within a touchdown either way. I don't think it's going to be a blowout either way.
I think I'm going to take Arkansas outright, but I think it's going to be close. Yep, I think it's going to be close. It's going to be come down the wire, and it's going to be one of those cardiac hogs back again, and for good reason. I mean, honestly, if you're competing down the wire to the number 16 team in the country right now, recent history would have been a playoff team if it was 12. I mean, like they're always solid under Mike Gundy. So he's a man. He's like 60 something now. I don't know how old he is, but he's 50, maybe he's 50. He's older than 40. Maybe he's 50. Gosh, I don't know. I don't want to date myself here, but he's over 50. He's a man. So we'll I don't know. We'll see. I think this is one of those games that's it's kind of crazy that we haven't played. I think the last time we played them was in 1980, if I remember correctly. Like that's before either one of us were born. Like that's a long time ago, and so it's crazy that we haven't played them again. I hope we can turn this into a regular game. This might be home and home is cool because they're so close. But last week we talked about Jerry World. This might be a cool non-con in Jerry World too. Both teams travel down to Dallas. It's probably about the same distance for each respective team. So flight-wise, especially. So that would be that might be kind of cool. What do you think about that? I just came up with that off the top of my head, so bear with me there.
Like it. Nice improv. But I think that would be a lot better than having a conference game every year, and they're always solid. It seems like they have a good year every now and then. Like I can remember like when they had like Justin Blackman back in the day, and who was the other old man quarterback that they had there for a while that went to the Cowboys?
Brandon Whedon.
That's it, Brandon Whedon. I mean, they're up, but they're hardly ever bad. So it would be a fun series. This is pivotal game. You come out of this, you get a win, you feel real good about UAB, and then all of a sudden there becomes a lot of eyes on A&M. And last week they showed they're beatable. Wigman did not look great. Offense didn't look great. Defense looked solid, but you go into that game 3-0, you're really playing for something, and you know the kids are competing for Sam. They're trying their best. They know what's at stake.
For sure. I mean, I look at all these people talking about, who's going to be Arkansas's next coach. I'm like, y'all, we have a pretty stellar staff behind a great CEO coach, really. If you just let him dictate, say, look, Bobby, you take the offense. Travis, you take the defense. Marcus, let's help out on the defense, I mean, with the co-tag, but let's see how this plays out. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid a little bit here,
I love that defensive staff, man, and Bobby knows offense. Obviously, he knows what he's doing. I'm looking for him. I love the guy. I mean, he's an outstanding guy. But when it comes down to it, I mean, you got to win football games.
When he got hired, I love the hire when he got hired, as long as he had coordinators that could handle their respective side. And he did with Kendall Briles. I felt like he had that confidence with him. Barry Odom had the same thing, had a high level of confidence with him. Now with Travis Williams in year two, he's getting settled in. The defense looked really good last year until kind of everything fell apart on the whole team, and everybody just wanted it to be over at that point, I think. But I think he's got his guys again that he can rely 100% on Bobby. Bobby may benefit from being out of the spotlight right now of the head coach side, less pressure, looking back to his roots of just, let's go out there and score the ball. We're going to score a touchdown every time we touch the ball. So far, he's done that.
That's all he's got to do. So he's got to worry. He's like, how am I going to score touchdowns this week? He figured it out last week. Now he's just focused on trying to do it this week. Like, how am I going to go score touchdowns? And it kind of works out because T-Will likes being the guy in the spotlight, obviously. I mean, he likes doing the, impromptu raps and, getting hyped and doing all this. Bobby's just kind of, let's figure this out. Let's score points. And it's, like I said it a couple of weeks ago, I could see a path to how this team could be really good. There's paths where they may not be good, but there is also a path where they can be good.
Yep. So far, so good. I'm curious to see how long the streak goes. That's 10 for 10 is pretty awesome. I don't care who you're playing. Even in practice, that's impressive.
Yeah, I'm rooting for a touchdown on the first drive, just to keep it going.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. That would be fantastic. All right, man. Well, I appreciate you coming in and giving some insight what you're seeing out there. We're gonna have to do this again next week for a home game next week. Look at there, true home game next time. So we'll see. Well, there you have it. Austin has him winning the national championship. Well, maybe not. Maybe he's just got him winning against Oklahoma State. You know what? I'm gonna do that too. So we'll see if we're both wrong or if we're both right. Hopefully, we're both right. So let's ride on. Until next time, stay blessed, stay passionate, tell somebody you love them.